what are the kind of feelers you're getting from US and Europe? How do you think that will impact technology investing going forward?
Well, I mean, there is a lot of discussion about the macroeconomic environment. Frankly, my assessment is, while it is not as good as it should be, I don't think many people know what's happening. It's a question of just guessing, trying to figure out where we are headed, trying to influence it, etc., etc. As an entrepreneur, as a person who's been involved in this industry, particularly the technology industry, one of the thoughts that occurred to me was immaterial of what the macroeconomic environment is. That will take some time to sort itself out. Let's focus on what we are doing well and continue to make sure that it does not have a negative impact by what's happening in the macroeconomic cycles. Which means if I, as a corporation, continue to work the way I've always been, as though this is the normal or this is the new normal, and if I encourage all my customers also to do the same and not worry about the macroeconomic environment, then I believe at least you have some chance of not getting into the negative swirl caused by this talk of this macroeconomic thing.
Okay, interesting.
If you look at companies, they have customers, they have to serve them, they have to produce products, and all that is going on. Why is it that we cannot focus a lot harder on that than worrying about it? Yes, it is costing more to get funding because the interest rates have gone up. Yes, it is becoming difficult to do business in certain parts of the world because of these conditions, but then there are other parts of the world. I just look at a country like Australia. Wages are going through the roof. Labor productivity is at a standstill. One reason is, of course, they rely on a lot of natural resources being exported, which is something that cannot be offshore, but still I'm sure that kind of wealth should create enough opportunities for companies like ours as well as technology companies. So it's a question of identifying, going after. Exactly what I said. I said the customers that we work with, we say there is uncertainty, we don't know how it is going to sort itself out, but while that's going on here, we have a real business to run, real customers to take care of, real new customers to acquire, real new ways of improving productivity. Let's get focused on that and remain focused on it. And if there is a serious problem, like the one that we had after the Lehman Brothers collapse, then we'll have to do some adjustments. But then let's not anticipate it and say that, oh, that's going to happen, so I'm going to slow down. No. By working hard enough now, we can even prevent such a thing from happening. It requires a certain amount of confidence, a certain amount of investment.
It's got a strategy.
Essentially, look at it, okay, that may be uncertain, but individually at the micro level, with the markets that I work with, I'm just going to what we have always been doing. I'll make your business stronger. Let me work with you, apply technology and make your business stronger so that you're not as impacted by whatever is going to happen as some of the others who are less prepared.
Okay.
That's it. And that's it.
You basically overtook Wipro right now as the IT provider. So are you very close to taking an emphasis also? So do you think that you will keep at your mantra of what you have been doing till now, and that is the formula of success for Cognizant?
I mean, we are not about beating someone, etc., in terms of revenue, size, etc. Size is not the parameter that we chase. Clearly, because we invest so much in the business, we want to deliver industry-leading growth to the investors, and that's what we are focused on, okay, which we will continue to focus on.
So what are the kind of defining trends that you see in information technology going forward, and particularly against the backdrop of the macro environment that we are into right now?
Technology cycles that we have gone through, starting from about 2000, initially it was the .com, then came the ICT revolution, the communication revolution, now the mobility revolution, and then the cloud revolution. These are all a sequence of events that are all coming together, converging at one point of time, and this is probably the best time as far as technology is concerned. You have mobility, you have cloud, you have organizations transforming, we have so much of globalization because people have access to talent, material, finance from anywhere in the world. It's all opened up. People can work virtually. We question, when would we see the end of thousands of people coming to a single campus and working? It's got to be work from home, it has got to be work from distributed offices because the communication facilities are so good. So to enable corporations globally to adopt to the availability of these new technologies, to the new models, is a full-time job of ours, and that's where we see huge opportunities, what we call the future of work. The future of work is not going to be, the way we worked in the last 5 years is certainly not the way we'll be working the next 5 years. The future is changing. It's defined by these technology changes like mobility and cloud, defined by virtualization, and defined more importantly by the people, the millennials, the people between 18 and 35 years, the way they want to work, and the customers who belong in this bracket, and the things that they buy and how they want to buy. Oh, that's revolutionizing the future of work.
Interesting. In terms of going forward, we're seeing that like talking about cloud computing, like you mentioned, this is kind of the most prominent trend right now. We are seeing IBM and other companies, a lot of initiatives there too, in terms of SME sector. What are the kind of initiatives Cognizant is taking, particularly getting to cloud computing?
It'd be very difficult for me to talk in detail about the initiatives that are going on. Actually not that closely involved with the activities. But I know cloud computing and mobility are two of the technologies in which we have a significant investment going in, significant lead in terms of some of the experiments that we have done and the way it is producing results for the customers, and we'll continue to invest. As to the nature of what that is, I'm unable to tell you now.
There have been new young technology entrepreneurs in the country right now. What is your message to them? What they should focus on? Particularly, very young companies trying to build billion-dollar enterprises. What is your message to them?
The message to those entrepreneurs is first and foremost is think big. Think big. Just don't limit your vision, limit your opportunity, limit the area that you work in to something small. You have the potential to think big and to execute it well. And two, in the services area particularly, the customers demand a different type of experience today. The expectations are constantly increasing, and that's a fantastic environment to be in for entrepreneurs. As demand is changing, it's the demand that is going to pull all the entrepreneurs into doing things differently in order to meet that kind of a demand or the expectation. So drive your customers to demand more, keep fulfilling and deliver a superior experience, and this virtuous cycle will automatically catapult the company into a high growth orbit.
You're also an angel investor in your personal capacity into various companies. How has your experience been? What do you think about the level of entrepreneurship in India?
It is good. It's interesting. People have a lot of ideas. People want to do something, but they are the thing that I said. They come with a very, very limited objective. And I'd like to see young people come in and say, I want to boil the ocean. That's the type of thing that grabs. If you start with an objective, in many cases you'll end up at least boiling enough water for your tea. But if you start with your vision of boiling a pot of water for your tea, then from there to get a larger mindset is going to be far more challenging.
Do you think we have more service companies than product companies?
I wouldn't agree with that. I think there is room for more service companies.
Room for more?
The demand, yeah, absolutely. There is more room for the type of transformation that we are talking about, and the opportunities that future of work throws up. We need a lot more service companies.
What particularly in service areas you think there is a gap which can be catered?
It isn't a particular gap. It is doing things differently. Access, it's doing things completely differently. I'll give you an example. For people like me, going to a bank branch once in a while is natural. We need to go there. But the millennials, they've never been to a bank branch. The obvious question that they ask is, where is the need for me to go there? I've got an account and I don't even know which bank, where the bank is headquartered and what the branch is. I've got these accounts, I do everything on the net. I don't want to go anywhere near that. And people want to deal less and less with physical infrastructure like bank, even physical things like a currency note. They say, I don't want to deal with cash. Why should I carry? I want to be able to pay by other means. So when such a thing is happening, how do we transform all the current businesses into the new? And that's where the big opportunity is.
So you think it's becoming virtual?
It's becoming virtual, yes, absolutely.
What do you think about e-commerce general? What is your viewpoint?
Terrific. E-commerce has changed the world. It's provided access to products access to products, the type of products, quality products to a vast number of people, immaterial of where they're located. I can order on the net. If I'm willing to pay for the transportation, I can order something that's available in the US that can be transported and available to me in the next 2 weeks. That's facilitated by e-commerce. That's facilitated with the new payment systems.
What are the kind of key learnings from Cognizant you have had in terms of technology entrepreneurship, which you would like to share, like 3-4 key learnings?
Key learnings are trust your people. All the people have enormous capability. They have enormous potential. Just provide them opportunities, empower them so that they can create value and they can succeed. To maintain an entrepreneurial culture in the organization. Create avenues for people to experiment, fail, succeed, etc. Entrepreneurial climate is extremely important. 3, never compromise on your values. Big or small, just never compromise on that. That's it. And focus on the result. You've got to deliver results. If people come back and say, I couldn't deliver because there was a financial crisis, too bad. You didn't deliver, that's all matters. I can always find enough reasons and excuses for not delivering. But if you are a good leader, despite all the conditions, you'll deliver. Those are the learnings.